Greetings. This month, April, is about Stress Awareness Month. I'm just going to tell you a story, and I hope that it will encourage you to try to find out more about good mental health and how to educate on keeping your stress levels down. This is a story called Anne. About 20 years ago, Anne was my next door neighbor. She lived with her husband and her children and grandchildren opposite me. Then a few years ago, she decided to sell her property and move to another area. She did give me the address, but unfortunately, I was actually going through a crisis and I lost the address. About 3 years ago, as I was coming out of the gym, this was about 10:30 at night, I met Anne. And she saw me on the bus and we were having a great conversation. She knew my children's names. She was asking me about my children and what they're doing. And I asked her about her family. Now, Anne at that time was 78 years of age. She looked great. And then something happened. I was getting off the bus and Anne said, "Don't say goodbye to me. I live right opposite you." And I said, "But Anne, you moved away from the house opposite my house about 20 years ago." And then it dawned on me that Anne probably was showing signs of dementia. And it seems that she left her house that morning and she was shopping and she lost track of time. We both started laughing because I couldn't remember where she lived because I lost the address all those years ago. And she couldn't remember where she lived. But I didn't panic. I knew she lived in a certain area in North London. So I assumed that if I take her to that area, then she will be able to recapture her senses and probably remember where she lived. And she did. I only had £5 in my pocket, and she actually remembered her address. And we took a cab to her house. When we took the cab to her house, when we arrived at her house, the police, 25 policemen, were outside her house. Her family was crying. They thought that Anne was dead. She'd been missing for over 24 hours. Sadly enough, I found out that Anne died about 2 years ago. But it opened up my mind to what good mental health is.